ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين.
Are you Christian?
I'm Christian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you
I'm Muslim.
Are you a Sunni Muslim?
I'm a Muslim.
But there's a difference between Sunni and Shia.
When you follow the Quran and you follow the Sunnah, this is a Muslim.
But there are different, what are they called? Hadiths?
Hadith are all, no, I mean hadith are recorded from the Prophet ﷺ. There are certain criterion to accept hadith, right? If you want to get,
but I get the feeling
why do you get that feel?
well, I guess that Shiites, I've talked to a couple of Shiites.
What do you see the difference?
Either like hadith and they might go, oh no,
So that's the problem, right? Like for me, the hadith is sahih, I believe. It's authentic, I think.
oh, you're into Sahih.
Yeah, I'm into sahih.
Okay.
So you're Christian.
Yeah, I'm a Christian. So
What kind
what
denomination? Just so I can.
I mean, I'm a Bible believer. I believe the Bible is true. But yeah, I mean, what I have a question. Maybe you know. Do you believe that the Quran is perfectly preserved?
What Bible do you use? The King James?
So, I like to sometimes go back.
Well, no, I appreciate
there's a lot of different
but the
translations.
Greek manuscripts have many discrepancies between them.
The Greek. I mean, this is my point. So, do you believe the Quran is perfect?
I do believe that.
So does that mean not one letter has changed?
Nothing. Not even the sound.
Okay, but this is the issue. When you get a scribe,
Sure.
scribes are human, right? They make mistakes.
So like scribes of the Bible made their mistakes.
I think scribes in general, in historical documents, make mistakes.
Just so we can, I'd like to have a productive conversation.
Yeah. But
So let me just make sure that we're on the same page, so I understand you, right? So you're saying any historic document, scribes that are writing down is going to make mistakes, right?
right, that's weak, right? So you might invert it, right?
So in the Bible, for example, when you look at some of the discrepancies between pages, do you think those were mistakes between scribes? I'll give you an example, just so I can understand. So let's go. Second Kings.
That's not what I'm interested in talking about.
I know the Bible is kryptonite for
I
you.
know what you.
But I just want to understand.
You would say the Quran is kryptonite too.
It's not. I love the Quran, and we're going to talk about the Quran. But I just want to make sure.
My point is.
I'm going to let you finish.
What do you? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So there are historic manuscripts. Bible manuscripts and Islamic transmission.
But there's a difference,
as well.
right?
But the point
What's
is,
the difference?
in both, maybe you've got
I like to finish thinking.
but there are
So
manuscripts.
it's not, what about memorization?
I believe manuscripts is far more reliable.
The issue there gets to me. Was there anybody in the time of Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, that memorized the Bible as it is today?
The Hebrews had a very disciplined way.
Are you talking about the Hebrews dealing with the New Testament?
I'm talking about Torah.
The Bible is not just the Old Testament.
I realize
Torah just part of the Old Testament.
Yeah.
So
but
if you look at the Bible today,
the Bible, we're talking about Bible and Quran.
we are both right. But when I'm asking you, which again, like I let you finish, let me complete my question at least. Is the Bible as it is today, New Testament, Old Testament, all together, part of the Old Testament being Torah and all of that, right? Has there anybody that memorized this word by word, letter by letter, in the time of Jesus? Peace and blessings be upon him. That's the question.
I don't know. I don't know the
You
answer.
don't know the answer, or you do know the answer?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, so let me ask you.
My point is, I still have the same question. I mean, no. It's the one question.
I'm
It's a
going to
simple
answer your
question.
question.
Can I ask? I came with this
You already
question.
asked the question, right?
But I don't think
You
I
have a
got the
new
answer.
question.
No. My question was, someone copies a document, right?
Okay.
Like it could be a chapter of the Quran or of the Bible,
Okay.
and make a mistake.
Okay.
When you are saying that the Quran is perfectly preserved, are you literally saying that no one has ever transcribed a verse from the Quran has ever made a
You
mistake?
just asked the same question again.
Yeah, but what was the answer?
Let me give my answer.
No, but it's a yes or no?
No, it's not. I'm not going to do a yes or no.
No, it's a yes or
No,
no.
if you want my answer,
Yeah.
you have to be patient enough to listen to it.
No, look, I'm sorry.
You're scared of my
It's
answer.
really no.
You're scared
No.
of it. Then just listen.
It's a
Look,
very.
I let you finish. I let you ask the question repeatedly.
But-
You're not letting me
But you
answer.
haven't answered.
Of course I do. If you allow me,
I want you to give it yes or no.
if you
first.
allow me, I will answer. Thank you. I will answer on the way I want to answer.
Okay,
You're
sorry.
not a judge. You're not in a court.
Sorry
So
about
if
that.
you'd like me to speak,
Yeah.
please
Okay,
refrain
first-
from
first of
speaking
all-
and allow me to speak.
Okay, can I?
I'm going to allow you to speak again.
Okay. First, I don't want me to be rude to you.
You are kind of being rude, all right?
I mean, we're
Because
both.
you're not letting me answer.
The thing is, we're both trying to say something, and
I'm listening.
Yeah, and I have
Go ahead.
very little. My question, I feel it's quite a simple question. So, I was sort of hoping for a simple answer.
Are you done speaking, sir?
Yeah. So, no. I'd like to hear your answer.
Are you done speaking?
Yeah.
So I listened to you, right? Did I listen to you politely?
Yeah.
Could you do the same courtesy back?
I'm listening to you right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to appreciate you not speaking when I speak now, as I didn't speak when you spoke. Thank you. So the first thing is, if you allow me, I would like to show you some of the things that I think are clearly, and I think you've come to an agreement. Again, you're interrupting me now. Again, you said you were going to let me speak.
Okay.
Let me speak.
Okay.
Now, when you look at the Bible,
Look, you're not-
Second Kings, did you see that? Now you're not
No,
letting me
I'm
speak
not-
again. You're interrupting.
I'm not interested
I
in
listen
talking.
to you. I
But-
listen to you.
but
This
can
is
I-
a part of
can I
my
say
answer.
something?
It's a part of my answer.
I'm not interested in talking about contradictions in the Bible.
I get
if you're also interested in listening to
It's a
contradictions
part of
in the Quran.
I'm ready to listen to anything in the Quran you like. I love the Quran. I study it.
This is
And I believe it's preserved letter by letter, word by word, sound by sound. And if you
Right.
allow me, I would
But what
answer you,
about-
but
but what
again, you're
about-
interrupting
but
me.
what
You're
about the
interrupting.
200 verses
You are interrupting.
that are not in
You're interrupting.
chapter
You're interrupting
33.
me, aren't you, sir?
I mean, the
Are
problem
you
is-
interrupting me?
I mean, I know. Yeah.
You're not letting me
Is this
speak.
what is this camera rolling?
It is rolling. Is your camera rolling? Hi. It is, right?
Yeah.
Look, sir, I let you speak. Please let me speak. That's all I'm asking.
Right.
Okay, now,
But,
if you
wait,
allow
what-
me again,
can you
without
kind
being
of-
interrupted,
Can you
Second
kind of
Kings
tell me where you want to take
26.
it?
I'm going to answer your question. If you allow me to speak. 2 Kings 8:26. Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, granddaughter of Omri. How old was he?
You know,
How old was he?
if you want to look at
22.
right these
Thank
things,
He was 22. Now, in the same Bible, 2 Chronicles, chapter 22, verse 2, Isaiah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri. So was he 22 or 42? That is a contradiction. Now, let me answer about the Quran now, if you
I
don't
haven't
mind.
looked into that contradiction.
Can you look into it?
I would.
You want to take pictures?
Take a look and give you an answer.
Well, you
But
seem
it's
well
not going to happen right
And
now. I mean, I still have my
I'm not asking for an answer
I
right now.
still have my question.
I'm going to answer your question. You want to take a picture of the verses so you can actually look into it and not ignore it like you're...
I'm fine.
Okay, what are the verses? Just so you're going to go and look at them, right?
I mean, did you say 2 Kings?
I did say some things.
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay.
You don't even know the verse because you're not really going to look into it, right?
Well,
Let's be honest.
You know,
Okay.
you
Regarding the
can,
Quran.
you can just type in something into your Bible app and
So now,
come up.
wow, you come over here. Sorry. I'm going to show you something. Okay?
Yeah,
It's my-
answered my question.
I'm answering your question.
I'm not talking about.
I am answering your question. This is the
I'm talking
answer.
about
Can you let me
transmission.
speak, sir? Please. Thank you.
This is not
No.
my question.
Recite Al-Fatiha. Now, these are gentlemen they're at random walking by. Do I know you guys? Do I know you? No. That's a page and a page and so for that's a page and I don't know them. I just okay now. He just recited Surah Al-Fatiha. Can you recite Al-Fatiha? Surah Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha po eh. Al-Fatiha ho ya. There is your answer. Mera mehraban. Dawah wala bikum. Apana che. Kene choice ke mas rakhe. Raza yakfal zed.
But that's Surah Al-Fatiha.
Let me finish. Let me
You
finish.
pray that 5 times a day.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Answering your question. That's just an example, right? These brothers here standing right now that have memorized large chunks of the Quran. We have brothers here with us in San Diego that have memorized the entire Quran.
Yeah.
So from the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, pay attention here. Okay, this is your answer. From the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam till our time, we have millions of people. In the time of the Prophet sallallahu, I can name you at least 28 by name. It goes up to 32 if you take the weaker translations. And on top of that, some of the ulama said there's more than 1,000. But at least I can give you names and historic documentation of those that memorize the entire Quran, not just Al-Fatiha, word by word, letter by letter. Allah Akbar. Now, that's what you don't have in the Bible. And that's why we don't have any changes in the Quran. That's why we don't have a Shia Quran or a Sunni Quran or a Wahhabi Quran or a Deobandi Quran or a Braille. We have one Quran that begins Al-Fatiha and ends with Al-Nas with 114 chapters and 30 juz. Unlike the Bible.
And the
Hafs Quran is not a Quran. Hafs is a recitation. Malik Yawmiddin and Malik Yawmiddin are not two different. There's no different chapters in the Hafs Quran, are there? Are there different
the
chapters?
Arabic words are different.
No, the
And,
pronunciation. It all goes back.
sometimes the skeleton character.
Go back. Which Mus'haf? You don't know.
Money.
Mus'haf Uthman. So that means they all go back to one book. But because of that book,
Although I heard some
can I
Qurans
finish my
that
answer
predate
if you don't mind?
Uthman also.
There are no
around
Quran
today.
that predate Uthman except for manuscripts that are partial. For example, the manuscript in Birmingham is not the Quran. So your information is wrong, but it's okay. Go home and research. Let me finish my answer if you don't mind. Can I finish my answer? Can I finish my answer?
But, no,
Sir,
but
can I finish my answer?
That specific point.
Can I finish my answer?
I just
Then you can take it.
I have one sentence.
I'm going to let you do
I
it.
have one sentence.
Because I'm polite, I'm going to let you do
Thank
it.
you. You're very gracious.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure
Yeah.
for you. Go ahead.
High five. Yeah, so my question was, writing down a document
Okay.
is more reliable
Sure.
than keeping it in your
I would
head.
disagree. Because when you write down a document, like you said, you can make mistakes. But when you memorize letter by letter, word by word, even the sounds, and your teacher teaches it to you, checks you, and then multiple people, like in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also the Sahaba, Uthman ibn Affan, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Ubay ibn Ka'ab, Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Umar, Aisha radiallahu anha, and others, they memorized the entire thing and the Prophet checked the recitation and they recited in their prayers. And that's why from that time till our time, generation after generation, we have those that study the Quran and their teacher checks their memorization letter by letter, word, even if you make the sound
They
wrong.
check documents too.
Listen, you said when you came here that scribes make mistakes in documents. Found some in the Bible already, which you're going to look into. But in the
And in the
Quran,
Quranic
is
documents too.
when we recite the Quran,
That's my point.
Again, you're not letting me finish.
But you're sort of having more of a one-way. You've talked a lot more than I have. You know, I respect.
You asked the question.
I respect.
You asked the question.
I know. I like listening to you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Terry. Terry Good.
So you asked the question. I allowed you to ask. Right? I mean, I allowed you to ask the question. And then you asked the question again, I allowed you to speak. You interrupted me. But now when I'm giving my answer, because you asked the question, my answer might be longer than the question.
Can I strongman your answer?
No.
So
Let me finish my answer, and then you can strongman yourself. So now, when you have actual written manuscripts, like the Birmingham Quran, that till today you can read Surah Dawah from it exactly the way we recite it. When you have millions of Hufad across the world that have memorized the Quran today, and you go back and you find in generation after generation, those that memorize the Quran, even if you pronounce the Qaf, Kaf, the teacher corrects you. That's how stringent. When you talk about the Qira'at, these are styles of recitation which show that even the difference in accents was preserved. Allahu Akbar. Not just the meaning and letters, but even how, you know, when you say, for example, in England you say, can I get a spot of tea? And we might say, can I get some tea? Like the text, you see the difference in how I prolong? Even the difference in accents is preserved. That's how beautifully the Quran is preserved.
There's variations in more than just accents in the different variants of the different Qur'ans out there.
Tell me. Who's Hafs?
Sorry?
Who's Hafs?
Yeah, I mean,
Who's Hafs?
he's one of your key transmitters, right?
Is he key?
Yeah. I mean,
Who does he transmit from?
I mean that doesn't. I mean, you
Who's
can always
your-
ask this question, right?
You don't know.
But it doesn't
You see,
mean
because
just
you
because
haven't-
I don't know the entire chain of
Let me give you a video.
doesn't mean
It's an hour and a half video where I explain all this so you can learn. If you really want to answer. I go over the manuscripts, I go over the writing, I go over, if you look up, Uthman ibn Farouk, look at it. If you really want to answer, I'm giving you.
Okay, my question.
You don't want to answer.
So, I mean, since I'm just discussing, right? So,
I know, but when I'm giving you a resource, you don't want it.
No, but you're. I mean, I can always say, I'll go read a book about something. I mean, it's not a very satisfying way.
What?
I can always say, go look at this website, but it's not
No,
a
it's not
very.
a website. It's my lecture, but it's an hour, 50 minutes. I'm not going to spend that time here,
Yeah.
which goes up and scan all the documents. But Uthman ibn Farouk,
Yeah.
preservation, Quran, and Bible.
There are very people.
You don't want to see the evidence.
No,
I'm offering.
I asked simple questions, right?
I gave you an answer. The Quran has been preserved,
So you're
letter by
saying
letter,
the
word by
Quran was
word.
not transmitted through documents?
It was, but that's
For
not the
what
only
year
way.
to what year?
That's the key. Not the only way. Now, those musahib, the documents, and when they're carbon dated too, in which museums there are, I have all scanned in the videos. If you want the detailed answer, it's right there. If you want the short answer, I gave it to you. The Quran is preserved. Let me say again. The Quran is preserved, letter by letter, harf
Okay.
by harf, sound by sound.
Maybe
not
I-
only, can I finish? Not
Okay.
only through documents, although we have manuscript, but on top
But you
of
said
that,
not only through
not
documents.
only through, also through memorizing.
Okay, but my question still stands. If someone
The question was
transmits,
whether the Quran has been preserved. I told you yes.
my question is my question was, by preservation, do you mean that when someone copies a document of, with a chapter or a verse, an ayah of the Quran from one document to another, that they have never ever made a mistake?
Now, let me answer
Is
your
that a yes
question.
or a no?
I'm going to answer your question. The way we preserve is if somebody was to make a mistake, the memorizers would correct their mistake. So that's why we have no mistakes
But you
in the
just-
preservation of the Quran.
You just said
That's your answer.
you just said the preservation was in oral plus written. You just said it a second ago.
And oral. And together they make sure that never a mistake will be transmitted.
So
You have your answer.
So okay, this is. Okay,
No, you're just gonna
can
go
I
on a loop.
confirm? Can I confirm?
Go ahead.
I want to confirm. So if someone, so here's okay. There's four scenarios I can think of. You can have a mistake in a written document on one verse, and a mistake with oral, right?
The same mistake.
Yeah, the same.
How would you
mistake.
get that?
Right. Well,
How would you get that?
Well, maybe.
Okay, if
Maybe-
one person made a mistake with memorizing,
Uh-huh.
what about the other 1,000 that memorized? They're all going to make the same
Well,
mistake?
this is the beauty of this is not no this is but we're talking the question was
Listen,
whether
I've answered your question. I would just ask, can you read one verse for me in the Bible? Just read it.
no my question is not answered. But so you're
I'm going to
saying
answer, but you can read this one verse for me. then, okay?
you're saying that someone can make a mistake.
I had to wait.
So do you know what happened to the
Good to see you. Well, I
the
appreciate
200
you
verses
stopping by.
missing from Surah Al-Azab? But you know, my question was: when someone copies the document from a scribe, right? Do they ever? Yeah, I know.
I don't know what you mean.
Do they ever make mistakes?
Look, again,
You're saying sometimes they do.
I've answered
So you're-
this question 4 times. I'm
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
answer it again.
So
the fifth
sometimes
time.
they do, right?
I'm going to answer your question a 5th time. Okay? But then you're not going to leave without
So
reading one verse. Okay?
you're saying the
Now,
oral
again,
recitation is
let me
all.
answer your question again.
Yeah.
A scribe could possibly make a mistake.
Yeah.
But why would that not affect the Quran? Because it's not a single scribe, and there are many, including the time of the Prophet ﷺ, that memorize the entire Quran, so they don't even need the written copy. So if a scribe was to make a mistake, those that have memorized it would correct it with their memory. And it's not one person that's memorized, there is thousands and thousands to now, in our generation, millions.
Yeah, so
There's your answer.
So the Bible was also
That's it.
translated.
Now you want to go to the Bible.
No. I'm
Okay.
just.
The Bible. Who memorized the Bible?
No.
Who memorized the Bible?
So as I said,
Who memorized the Bible?
transmission.
I asked the question now. I answered the
don't have the
question
answer to
5
that.
times.
Sorry. I'm
Nobody.
sorry.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody personally who's memorized the whole Bible?
So
Do you know anybody personally?
As I said, I don't believe.
Do you know anybody that personally memorized the whole Bible?
No, I don't know.
You don't. But I know
I don't
1,000 plus
think-
people personally
But I
that
don't
have
think.
memorized the entire Quran.
I don't.
You see the
think-
difference?
I don't.
Do you
Think,
see the difference?
I don't think.
Do you see the difference?
I don't.
Not gonna
think-
answer.
I mean, the way the transmissions were different, but I don't think memory is superior to written word.
So I showed
And
you
I
an
think the
example
court-
right
court
now,
of
right?
law-
Did I just show you an
The
example?
court of law will testify that memory
The court of law?
has
Which court of law?
If you're making
You're
a
just making that
testimony
up,
in a
aren't you?
court of law,
You just made that up.
the-
Most testimonies, all written.
eyewitness testimony is unreliable and it
Really?
depends on your memory.
So if somebody says I witnessed a crime and they find a document saying a crime happened, the witness is not as reliable?
That's not the comparison.
Was it, you just said that.
No, I'm.
You just said that.
That's not the way. That's not.
You just said
that's not
that,
the way-
right? And then when I
No,
explained it,
that's
you-
not what I said. That's
Okay,
not
what
what I
did you
said. I said eyewitness testimony is not always reliable.
That's not what you said. It's recorded. You said not as reliable as
Well,
the
for
document.
the transmission
It's
of
recorded, don't lie.
No.
I expect as a Christian you're not gonna lie.
We're talking about two different things. One is the
No,
court of law,
you said
one
that
is
a court of law.
No, let's not
the-
conflate the two
Look,
things.
again. Now you're trying to hide from the lie.
No.
I'm gonna give you a pass.
So in the
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome.
You're a very gracious man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know,
Would you like some tea?
the court of law.
No? Would you like a chair? You sure?
No, I'm standing.
I just want you to be comfortable.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so yeah, you know, eyewitness testimony in court of law is regarded as not always reliable, right?
Okay, so do you want to answer that? Eyewitness testimony is a majority of testimony in courts of law. And sometimes it's more reliable in documentation, sometimes less. It depends on the situation. But when you have a document and eyewitness accounts, it's definitely more reliable. Like the Quran. How many Bibles are there?
But
How many types of Bibles?
I'm not
talking about different recitations.
But yeah.
I'm not even talking about different translations.
But I'm
I'm
not-
saying where they have different chapters.
Wait a second. I'm not talking about the presentation of manuscripts.
Preservation or
The
presentation?
presentation of manuscripts for a court of law. All I just wanted
You
to say.
brought up the court of law, bro.
Yeah. All I wanted to say is that
All
memory
you
is
wanna
not
do is
always
this.
reliable. Yeah.
Memory is not always reliable.
Yeah.
So when you have 1,000 people that memorize the exact same thing,
Yeah.
and you have written documents,
Yeah, or you
then
have-
you're pretty accurate.
Yeah, or if you have 1,000 people transmitting a document
Let me ask you
that's-
something.
by writing, that's
But
also
those
accurate.
documents have differences, right? The manuscripts agree, and that's why the Orthodox Bible, the NIV translations from the KJV have differences. You want me to show you? I got you, no problem.
But they're
I got
translations.
KJV.
Yeah.
No, there's different verses, not translations.
Yeah.
Different verses, like "Son of Man" has been taken out of NIV. I mean, you know, sure.
I'm interested in the
You're not
original
interested.
document. No, not
Which
interested in
original?
that topic.
Which
Sorry, man.
original?
But my question.
Listen,
I wanted to get back to my
I
question.
told you, I answered your question
No,
like
no, but
5 times on video.
no. We're looking at different aspects of it. So
This is 6th time. Go ahead.
So,
See how nice I am to you?
that's teaching. So like a document can. So there are multi modes for transmitting documents, right? My question was.
Okay, so who were the scribes that wrote the Bible?
I don't know them personally.
You don't know, are their names even known, the actual scribes?
Oh, who wrote the Quran?
I can tell you, Zayd ibn Thabit radiallahu anhu is one of them, Muawiyah radiallahu anhu is one of them, the Katib al-Wahid. Uh-oh.
I'm not ashamed. I'm just.
Gotcha. All right, now let's do this. Okay.
Okay,
You asked who wrote the Quran, I'm going to answer you.
but-
I got all the names.
So you.
I can even tell you when they wrote it
So
and what they wrote it on.
So
And I can
I
give
just
you
wanna-
carbon dated Musahif from the time of the Sahaba.
So,
I got you.
if
No
someone-
problem.
if someone
no,
makes
no,
a-
hold on.
I
You
just-
asked the question, you said, who wrote the
No.
Quran? Now you're not letting me answer.
No, I'm not
No.
interested in who wrote the Quran.
But you asked that.
But
Did he not just
you
ask
asked
that?
me who wrote the Bible.
I know, and you didn't answer because you don't know.
Right.
But I do know who wrote the Quran.
But I'm still interested. I'm still interested in my original question. So
Go ahead. What's your original question?
So is it? So you agree that sometimes people make mistakes when they transmit from one
This is
manuscript to another?
literally the sixth
The
time I'm
answer
going to answer.
is it yes? It's yes, right?
I'm going to answer it again.
Yes
ready?
or no?
You ready?
Yeah, no. I
ready?
just want a yes or no.
Are you ready for the answer?
I just want a yes
Sixth
or
time.
no. Really, just a yes or
When
no.
scribes write, there is a possibility that scribes make mistakes, but the Quran,
So the
because
answer
it's
is yes.
memorized and written, it has no mistakes. Because if a scribe was to make a mistake, those thousands of people that memorized the Quran would correct them from their memory. And those
from other
scribes
documents.
were not
Wait.
a single document.
Or other documents, right? Memory
There-
or other
There
documents.
are other manuscripts
So-
as well.
so someone writes-
But
someone
in the time of
transmits
Sahaba.
doc-
Let me finish my
But-
answer,
but I'm-
sir.
but I'm trying to-
Sir,
I'm helping you. I'm helping
Don't
you.
help me. I don't need
No,
your help. Trust
no,
me.
no.
You need
I-
help.
no,
I
no,
got
no.
you. Now, in the time of the Sahaba, the companions under Zayd ibn Thabit, Emperor Shura, in the time of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, came to a consensus. You know what ijma'? Consensus on one Quran. That all of them that had memorized and written came to a conclusion. This is the one Quran. Uthman radiallahu anhu, consensus here.
But
Ijma'.
yes, but
No,
they
Uthman
they
radiallahu-
went and destroyed the documents that
They
had,
did not. Zayd ibn Thabit did not destroy the documents.
Yeah.
Uthman radiallahu anhu,
I think I need to check that.
yeah, you do need to. That's why I was offering you a video that talks about this,
So,
but
so
you didn't
but
want it.
I mean, okay. So my
Let me
point is,
finish my answer.
I think you
don't
you
let me
answered
finish.
my question.
Okay,
That
thank you.
The answer
Remember
was,
that.
I think
I answered his question.
In that,
that
yes,
the Quran
the
is
answer is
preserved
yes.
100%.
No, the answer
That
is
is
yes. The answer is
You
yes.
told me that you would recite one
Trent-
verse for me before you leave. Can you just recite this highlighted?
Wait.
Just recite one verse. That's all I'm asking.
I still want confirmation. So that look, so you admit that
I
the
like
scribe, when a scribe transmits, copies one verse and they make another manuscript of the Quran to transmit it and give it to someone else, right? They were rare, errors are rare, and they might forget a word, they might misspell it, they might miss a whole word, they might miss a whole sentence accidentally. Happens sometimes. It's just
Do you want me to answer?
it's just an honest
Would
mistake.
you like me to answer?
So you,
Was that a question or a comment?
You agree
no.
from what you said.
No,
you can
you're not
confirm.
letting me answer. You're putting words into my mouth.
I'm just.
I'd appreciate if you
gonna
keep
let
your
you.
words into your mouth.
I'm going to let you agree or disagree.
I'm going to give you my answer.
So you agree that sometimes the scribes who transmitted the Quran did make tiny little mistakes, but you're saying there's other manuscripts or other transmitters that didn't make mistakes. So I've got a background in science. I understand the idea of
What kind of science?
like telecommunication, the idea of self-correcting code, right? So, and this happens in the Bible.
Self-correcting code would be AI. It wouldn't be actually.
No, that's
Let me give my answer if you don't mind. Let me make this is the seventh time.
If there are five,
If somebody, if a scribe made a mistake, not only do we have other documents, we have thousands of people throughout each generation, which is up to millions now, that memorize, learn letter by letter, word by word, even the sounds and how the difference of accents were at the time. So any mistake would have been caught. So the Quran is preserved 100% sound by sound, letter by letter, word by word, line by line, and no Muslim has a different Quran. We have one Quran that begins with Al-Fatiha and with
but
Al-Nas
the Arabic
has
text on the halves and
114.
the washes, the Arabic letters are
Finish.
different.
Can I
So
finish?
it's,
How can
I don't
it be
think you can really
different
say that
if they
that
all
it's
go
exactly
back
the
to
same.
the Mus'haf Ahmad? Look.
The Arabic is
Do you know
different.
about the Quran?
The Arabic.
Okay, name me a difference.
Let's see, Surah Al
You tell me,
Imran,
Al-Imran.
verse 146, right?
Read it.
There is there's a verse, one of the I can't remember which is
Can you read it?
but it's the Hafs and there's the what, right? And one
What about
says
Sharma?
many a prophet killed, and the other one says many a prophet was killed, right? There's Qutila versus Qutila. You know it very well. I'm sure people
We've
come
already
here all the
answered
time.
this repeatedly.
Yeah, as I said, people come.
Qutila is
Yeah.
not killed and killed. This is about whether fight and fought,
Forward
killed,
fight and
so on.
was, yeah, forward was
They
killed.
are written in the same way. Qa, ta, la. Qaf, ta, lam. There is a mud that's different. You don't know.
The word is different.
You don't know. That's why I offered you the video, because I discussed this particular ayah with scans.
Katila versus kutila, but the
Yes.
Arabic is different.
It's not.
They're
Because
different.
what you don't know.
The letters are different.
Okay. What's the difference in the letters?
There's probably the diacritical marks, I would guess.
What's the difference? You don't know. You don't actually know. So you're here to argue, but you don't even know the
I
difference.
can pull them up if you like.
Go ahead, pull them.
In the beginning of
You mind if I have a sip of my tea while I wait for you? Would you like some? I can.
I like, I'm a coffee guy.
That's the point. That's okay.
I know.
I'll let you keep the coffee, but keep Tawheed.
Once you move to coffee, you never go back.
I've drank coffee many a time, and I go back to tea.
Oh, okay. You know,
Where are you from?
I come from a place where the coffee is great.
Where are you from?
You might be more keen to do the coffee. So,
Where are you from? Australia, nice. I've never been there. Inshallah, brothers from Australia, invite the brothers. I want to come out and see Australia. Drink the coffee.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I emailed a picture to myself.
Yeah, to the link.
You want me to put it up for you?
I want to cry. I want to tell you that I
I appreciate this. Can you touch it?
That's true, right?
It should be at least take a bath somewhere.
Jesus say, yeah, I don't know if you believe that these words when Jesus says, it's not what those you feel about. It comes out and it's more
Like, I don't think there's more than that relation, right? Sometimes we have like we'll get into fiqh later.
You don't know the later.
Can I? I'm not gonna steal your phone. Don't worry.
I lost my phone.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Really? You love your phone more than life? So, what are the letters here? You don't know what?
I want to know there.
No, you gotta expand.
What are you going to tell me?
I'm gonna show you. Qa, ta, lam.
Okay.
It's only 3 letters. Now here you see the that's not a letter, that is a elongation. You see the Mus'haf Uthman, the original Mus'haf, please, go ahead. Have a great day. It's like
Which is based on Allah.
so here, the Mus'haf Uthman, it would have these 3 letters. Qutila would just change with having a dhamma here and a kasra here. Exactly, right? Even the dots were not there. So that means Qutila and Qatila would be no different in writing in the original Arabic.
Saying the Rabbi.
The rasm is the same, the writing is the same, it's one Quran, it's pronunciation, right? For example, let me finish. Can I finish? Can I finish, my brother?
Can I have a little?
No, because you didn't let me finish.
No, you
Go ahead.
so much.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You asked the question, I was listening to you, but you didn't know. I would allow you to go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but when you write it,
The person that made it.
You write it exactly the same.
on a small paper, write Abdullah, write Kutula next, and you show it to an Arabic speaker today.
Let me
They would interpret it.
Well, if you're saying that the New Testament was well, there's something going on, you know, like translation that we understand. They agree with that, but
let me show it to you. In the original Mus'haf, listen, I just wrote it. It will be written like this. If you have the accent, you would pronounce it La. Two da. Like this. And if your accent is such, it'll be the exact same thing, written the same way, but you will then recite it ta, ta, la. Okay, so these are not two different words. They are pronounced in two ways. Now,
But they are, I mean, if you show those words to an Arabic
me again. You're interrupting me again. Now you're interrupting me
I
again.
just want to say, you only
Let me.
going to say time.
Good.
Yeah, okay. But if you were to, take those two words from Arabic speaker down the road, from side to side and say, okay, pronounce that. This one is still out, okay. They'll be able to pronounce it and say, pronounce the other one. Say, people up and ask the meaning of that word versus the meaning of this word. They'll ascribe different meanings. So I know that.
Let me explain it now, if you don't mind.
Can I get one more sentence?
Go ahead, one more sentence. But you're going to let me finish out.
Yeah, I promise. You put those two words into Google Translate or a translator, it will come up with two different meanings.
Yes, it will. I'll give you.
Yeah.
Now, can I speak now without being interrupted? Wendy, look at this word. How do you pronounce it? If I said kanai, if there was a K, am I wrong?
Okay.
Why is it silent? But if I didn't know it was
English
silent,
language is a strange language.
strange language, right? Now, when I write this word, color, and I wrote C-L-O-U-R, is there a difference? It's the same word.
But then one is sorry. So one is British, and the other one's American.
Exactly. Different accents that have different accent marks that are put into it. Now, for example, when I was growing up, we had certain things we would use. Like we would say, look at that mug. Like, what does that mean to you?
Look at that mug. Look at that cup, right?
Look at that M-U-G. And you would say that means look at that cup. For us, when we said look at that mug, we meant someone's face.
Right.
So now if you put it in Google Translate, the meaning will come different from what I was saying. Right? The Arab had different ways to pronounce words in different ways. And some of them would use plural for something and some would use singular. For example, in England, they can say them for a team. We say the team in America. Right? Them team is wrong to us. Understand? With the Arab, some of them would discuss something and they would use qutila, and some qatila, some would say Malik Yawmiddin, some say Malik. But again, it was not a different Quran because we'll go back to one Mus'haf, one Quran that by consensus, it is only style of recitation. And even that differences has been preserved because each Quran has to have a sanad all the way back to the Prophet.
Okay.
Now, I would just ask if you can read one verse for me.
I still have another question.
I answered your question, right? Repeat it. Now, let me just. I will allow you to answer a second question if you just read one verse. It's right there, highlight. That's from your Bible. The Word of God, right?
Yeah. Can I?
Word of God? Word of God or
God
not?
breathed.
Huh?
God breathed.
God breathed these words.
You know Timothy 3:16. So
I got
God
you.
used us in the vessel.
But it's the words of God read to us.
God breathed.
You're not sure?
It's got a.
It's kind of murky, confusing. God's not the author of confusion.
Ha 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 ha.
Go ahead.
So
Just read the verse.
okay. So my point is.
Can you read the verse?
My point is, first of all,
No. I answered your question repeatedly.
So you want
For your other
you
question,
want to talk about contradiction in the Bible and the Quran?
sure. But I
Is
just.
that what you want us to hear the conversation?
I don't. I just asked you if you can read one verse and tell me this is the words of God.
Well,
Okay. Come on.
Even the certified.
Oh, okay. But
You can read one verse?
what?
I'm not going to ask a second question when I've answered your first. You can't read one
But
verse. You're gonna read one verse. Kryptonite.
let me.
I can read any verse of the Quran you like.
I mean-
Here. Pick a verse, I'll read it.
But
No, you-
this is a
not kryptonite.
this is a different
Love the
conversation.
Love
right? I mean, I did.
Love it.
I
No, can you just read one verse? Just read one verse. Read one verse.
I think that
You read one verse, you can't read
want to
one
talk
verse in the Bible.
If we want to talk
Are you
about
that afraid of the Bible?
in the Quran, in the Bible,
I'm
we should also
asking you,
talk
it's not a
about
contradiction.
we should
It's not a
also talk
contradiction.
about
It's not a contradiction.
in the Quran.
It's not a contradiction.
Why
We can talk about the Quran. No
do you want
problem.
me to read that?
I just want you to tell me the words of God.
You're wanting to read? Oh,
Read it.
oh, you got a different.
You see?
But you're reading that at a you
I just asked you to read the verse.
Conversation
No,
for
I
something
don't.
else
Just
now.
read this verse and we'll go back to contradictions. No problem. All day long.
No.
But you won't read it.
This is a far
Why not?
topic.
Why won't you read it?
Because it will take
Because you know
another
it's
long
not-
conversation.
No, it's just a little verse. It's one verse.
You need to read the
You want me to
verse
read
in
it?
context.
What's the context? I mean, the words of God, right? You can tell me the
Israel.
context. Okay.
Israel. They are faithful,
Faithful. Okay.
right?
Yeah, good.
Right? And God.
Look how scared you are of the Bible. Tell me. Tell me.
I really enjoy reading it.
Do you really? Or are you just saying that out of being nervous?
I love
Can you just read the
I
verse
love
and then
meeting
explain it?
Muslims and talking to Muslims, right? Because I
appreciate
love talking about God. Muslims love to talk about God.
I love talking about Allah.
Yeah.
Now, read the verse.
I like to
and
talk
then
about
explain it.
of course,
I'm
my
going to
God
allow
is
you to speak. after.
Yahweh, of course. And I
Can you read the verse,
don't see,
please?
I don't see Yahweh when I read. You know, I haven't read
Can you
all of
read
the
the verse?
Quran, but
Just read the verse. Just read the verse. And I'll let you explain it even. I want to interrupt you.
I don't want to read one verse.
Oh, you don't want to
because
read
it
the
can be
verse in the
taken out of
Bible?
context.
No, read it in context. Read the whole chapter for me if you like.
Yeah.
But just read the verse and tell me they're the words of God.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you read this with your kids?
To be honest,
Would you read this with your kids? Be honest.
to be honest,
Would you read this with your kids?
look,
Would you read this with your kids? Yes or no?
This is
Would you read this with your kids? Would you read this with your kids?
so I was a teenager.
Would you read this with your
I had
kids?
my own Bible.
I'm gonna try.
And I never found any.
Politely letting you answer?
Yep. Thank you. Yep. Because I talked with a Muslim recently, and it was funny. We first started with the question, you believe that the Bible is God's word, right? And then I said, oh yeah, it's God's word. 2 Timothy
I'm letting you speak.
3:16, right?
2 Timothy 3:16.
Yeah, you know the verse?
I do.
The Bible? Yeah.
See, let's get back to the verse. that you
Yeah,
want to read.
then he wanted to go and attack the Bible, saying, "Oh, the Bible is full of
I'm just
pornography."
asking you
This verse,
to read one verse and just let me know. Would you read that with your
look at
kids?
Song of Solomon, and if you read
It's
it
not a
in,
song of Solomon.
no, this is Ezekiel 23. But if you read it in context, it
23:20.
right, it,
Go ahead, read it.
it provides powerful illustration.
Tell us the context. I'm all ears. Just read the verse and tell us. Go ahead.
Something that I
You won't. You're scared of the verse.
feel like talking about it. Unless
You don't.
I can talk about the context.
I know you don't feel like talking. We can talk about the context.
The context. Yeah. Yeah.
All day long.
But this is
As long as you want to talk about the context, I'll
This
say
is a
it.
long way from
You're
the
scared to
topic.
read the verse. I answered your question. You want to go to a second question? I asked you before
I
you
still-
agreed that
I
you
still
would read
got-
one
I still
verse
got-
from the Bible. Just read this verse and just let me know. Would you read this with your
I
kids?
still got
Okay, do you have
things
kids?
to ask
Do you
you
have
about
kids?
the topic
I know. Do you have
of the
kids?
preservation
You have
of the
kids?
Bible.
Look, I've discussed this topic. I've got videos on it.
I
I've
think-
answered your question
I think
more than
there's still
7
stuff to
times.
flesh out there.
And we can flush out all day long. But I just want you to read one verse from the Bible.
I just had one thing I wanted to tell you. Are you willing to?
I'm willing to listen to
This
10
is a
things
way
from you.
different topic.
But the only thing is, we discussed your topic, I gave you answers, and you would not even recite a single verse from the Bible, which shows how afraid
I will
Christians are of the
come.
Bible.
No. I will come back another
No,
time
you
and I'll talk
won't.
about
I
it.
hear this all the time and they never come back. Right? That's not the point. The
Life
point
is-
here is just
No, I'd
recite.
love to come back and
If
talk
you want to
about
ask another question, I'm going to need you to recite this verse, and I will be polite
My
enough
question-
and courteous enough to let you explain the context all day long. So please just recite one verse, and then I will quietly let you explain it.
I would.
We're not having a conversation past this if you don't.
I just would
Because you're afraid of the Bible.
No,
I answered your
just-
question on the Quran, the preservation, the Qur'an, the Qutila,
This is a separate topic.
I explained all of that. Now you want to go to
This
another
is a-
question,
this is a
and
separate
I'm
topic.
just asking you to read one verse. That's it.
This is a
That's it.
separate topic.
Just one verse.
I want to come back.
You're afraid.
No. I want
You're
to come
afraid.
back and talk.
You're afraid. You're afraid.
This is a
No,
separate topic.
this I have given you plenty of time. I've been polite. I've allowed you to speak. I've answered your questions. Let me finish. I have
one thing I want to say.
I'll tell you what. You can say it, but then you're going to read the verse. How's that? Deal? No, that's scared of one verse in the Bible.
I know.
Do you read the Bible with your kids? Do you have kids? I couldn't read this Bible.
You can find similar things in the
Fine.
Bible.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You made a statement. Go ahead.
You can find.
You made a statement, sir. Go ahead.
Find things about.
Go ahead. Google it. Go ahead. Google it. I'm letting you.
I have to Google it. I had a conversation with a Muslim about this recently.
Muslim.
But Muslim. Oh, I got to
Muslim.
get. I got to get.
Yes,
thank
please.
you. Thank you for correcting me.
Go ahead.
But as I said, I don't want to have a conversation on this topic because
Yeah,
it'll
because you're
take
scared
a
of the Bible.
long time.
No, that's not what it is.
We're only
I have spent like an
talking about-
hour with you already explaining every answer.
Has it been an hour?
Probably about or at least 20
45 minutes.
45 minutes. No.
So
What I'm asking you,
I
just
still
read
want
one
to talk
verse.
about preservation. I only really came to talk about preservation.
I mean, I would ask him to read it, but I'm afraid it's such a like I couldn't read this in front of my kids. That's how bad it is. How old is he? He's 24. I don't want to read in front of him. That's how bad it is. What's your name? How you doing? What's your name? Huh? Can you read a verse for us, if you don't mind?
You should read it in context.
You can explain it, but
So the context.
I mean, okay, let me read the verse because I asked him to read it for the last, I don't know, 10 minutes, and he won't read one verse after I explained the Quran and Qur'an and all of that.
It's about Israel. About
Okay,
more than-
I mean, just read this verse. Yeah, the highlight. And then just answer one thing. Would you read this with your kids? Go ahead.
Issue is like an issue of course.
Oh yeah, you know what he's talking. The penis of donkeys and the sperm. Would you read this with your kids? That's disgusting. I would not. Oh man, my son is 19. I
But
wouldn't
then
read
you
this
wouldn't
in
want
front
to
of
read the
him.
verse in the
You
Quran
think
about
this
women
is
having
the-
big breasts in heaven.
Well, what big breast? Show me the verse. Okay, show me.
You want to see it?
Go ahead.
Buxom maidens?
Huh?
Buxom depends upon the
Buxom
translation.
Look,
It depends upon the translation.
Don't jump from this now. You're jumping now. You're jumping.
But
You
you,
jumping?
no, I'm
You're
not.
jumping.
You just,
Are you jumping?
you
All right.
just,
Jump.
you
Jump.
can't talk about the
Jumping.
Bible without also being willing to talk about the Quran.
I'm willing to talk about the Quran. So only thing I
Talk about
asked
both.
you. Go ahead. When you talk about the
and,
Quran,
and if you open up Ibn Kathir, it says in heaven there are women.
Ibn Kathir, the Quran,
It's
Ibn
an
Tafsir.
interpretation from.
Tafsir. From who?
They're just looking
From who?
at the Arabic.
Really? Ibn Kathir looks at the Arabic of it, so it doesn't bring hadith. Who's Ibn Kathir? You don't even
The
know.
meaning of the Arabic word at the time of
Who's Ibn Kathir?
a couple of hundred years.
A couple of hundred years after the Prophet? Couple of hundred? 200?
Just
So
because
he
I
was
don't
the son of
know,
a Salihin?
just because I
What's his
don't
name?
know, just because I don't know.
You don't know who he is.
First
By
name
the way,
doesn't mean
Tafsir
I
Ibn
haven't read
Kathir is not a
it.
linguistic tafsir.
Oh, look,
Tafsir of nusus.
I don't.
Just letting you know.
Hey, I reckon Ibn Kathir writes a lot of stuff that you would throw away today.
Why would I throw it away? I have Ibn Kathir. I love the book. Why would I throw it away?
Oh, okay. Oh, so you believe Ibn Kathir?
What do you mean I believe it?
Do you trust Ibn Kathir?
What do you mean do I trust? He's a scholar of tafsir. No doubt. He's not a Nabi, not a prophet. Not everything he said was right. He's a great scholar. I wouldn't throw it away for sure. And he explains a lot of things with differing opinions and contexts like that you mentioned. But you are running from the verse. That's all you're doing.
I'm trying to
I
make
will
a
speak
point.
to you because
I'm
you
trying
can't
to make
answer
a
this.
point.
You couldn't read one verse in the Bible. You couldn't till today. You couldn't read.
I don't want to
And
talk
you
about
are
it.
ashamed.
No, I don't want to talk about
He
this.
doesn't want to talk about
I love
it. You know why you don't want to
The
talk about
Bible is
it?
God's
You will,
inspired word.
you will not talk about anything in the Bible. I'll show you.
I wanted to
Okay.
get back to my question.
You know what?
My
Even though I
question.
answered your question
No,
seven times, seven.
No, I'm
It's on
talking
video.
about different things.
So that's a different question then.
It's the same general,
Okay.
same topic of preservation. That's what I want.
I will show the world that you don't want to talk about. Forget that verse. Let's look at another verse. I mean,
No, you're jumping. No, I'm gonna. No.
Can you help us out real quick again?
Ask me to tell
you said you didn't want to talk about that verse. I'm going to show the world you don't talk about anything in the Bible. Here's another verse. Can you read? Watch him. Watch him. Watch him squirm now.
You're jumping. You're
I'm not
jumping
jumping.
from topic to topic.
I'm not.
I
You
had
didn't
a
recite
very
the one
simple-
verse. I answered your question 7 times on
I
camera.
have a very simple thing to say. Will you let me say?
I told you no, because I told you that I'll answer your question if you read one verse from the Bible, and you didn't.
You have
I answered your question 7 times. 7.
I don't know.
7.
You-
I did. I
I told-
counted.
I didn't
It's on
ask-
video.
No, I didn't ask-
I counted
I didn't
on my
ask one
fingers
question.
in front of you.
I asked multiple questions.
You had one question, and you asked, and
one
I answered
one general question.
all of you. And now you want to ask a different question. But I asked you to read one verse, and then I'll answer your question, and you did it. And you're saying it's
I'm
about that
interested in the
verse.
topic
I'm going to
of
read
preservation
another
of the
verse.
Quran.
He's gonna-
Look,
I can
we already,
you can read it. Yeah, talk about that.
already
Go ahead.
talked about.
Read the verse. Watch it.
You
Watch
know,
it. Watch it.
we already talked
Read it.
about
Go
Jesus
attack
and
Go and attack Emulate.
we talked about the preservation of the Quran,
Please
right?
don't speak over him.
But what I want to know is when
Kill both man and woman,
when
infant
someone
child.
copies the document,
Why would you kill infant children and donkeys?
I didn't listen. When someone
You didn't listen.
when someone
You
copies
can't
the
even
doc-
listen to the Bible. See,
When someone copies, I love
that's
the
a
Bible.
bad question.
I love
That's the
Bible.
same question I've answered 7 times. Okay, you know,
My point is
just for Amir's
my
sake,
point-
I'm
my
going to
point,
ask
when
it again.
someone- when
Amir, you
someone-
be the judge.
When
Go ahead.
someone copies a document, and
the same question you've asked.
they write it slightly. Okay, and they end up writing Islam in one translation and Hatullah in another translation. You open the words in Arabic today, probably nothing.
I don't want to listen. I know what you're doing. If you heard about this,
Is that your question? Amir,
Jesus
is his question over?
okay?
Is your question over, sir? Politely, I'm asking you. Is that your question? Can I answer it? Would you allow me the courtesy to answer your question the 8th time?
Thank you. Have you been counting?
I have been counting in front of you on my finger. You guys were here till 7, right? So this would be what?
I have to correct you. It's not the same question.
It's
We're talking
exactly
about
the same
different.
question. But that's
No,
okay.
we're talking
Look,
about
I'm really glad it's
scribal
recorded
transition.
so people can see it. But now let me answer. Would you mind if I answer?
We're talking about scribes transmitting documents, and we're talking about the difference between the Hafs Quran and the Word.
Did I not write this out to you already?
But what I'm saying is,
He said because Jesus came 600 years ago, right?
the words literally mean different things.
Do not say such thing.
What?
Just talk about what you want
Come
to talk
talk.
about.
Jesus is a Muslim. Put the camera.
Okay?
Jesus is a Muslim and I can prove it to you. Come talk to me. لا تتكلم معنا.
لا حبيبي ما
تعال.
بتكلم.
إذا لا تريد أن تتكلم تمشي. امشي.
ورا المسيح.
إذا لا تريد أن تمشي تعال تكلم معنا. You don't want to talk? Then keep walking.
Is he an Arab Christian?
He,
Is that you?
I don't know him personally.
Arabic. Right here. Okay, Arab Christian.
oh, you gotta listen to the answer. I'm sorry, I gotta keep it for a second.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So did you get my question?
I got your question.
Yeah,
the first
doesn't it
6 times you
cause
asked it.
confusion? No, it's a
I will
different-
answer.
Doesn't
Can I
that
answer?
cause
Amir, can I answer? Can I answer? Without him
It's an
interrupting?
Arabic word.
Can he not interrupt? Would that be possible? Sir, thank you. Please.
am I trying your patience?
No.
Okay.
Trust me, you're not as bad as others.
Oh, who's the worst?